From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here in KC as their beloved Chiefs took the field, and they are set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it officially a loss. Two on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Mahomes now to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Mahomes going to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have two remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 24. A first down run with Jacobs won't get a whole lot, maybe a yard, but that's about all, and it's second down. Well, these two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a third and long. Back to throw. Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. This is taken at the 23. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss get us off your back. You can move forward from there.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes completes it to Hardman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Second down, McKinnon. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their third in a row. And the question is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing his car on third down. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play there for the Raiders.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Pushes past him. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen, but we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
The Carr's throw complete here to Waller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Now Carr. He gets this one to Johnson. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Carlson able to put this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good job there to kind of weather the storm in that first quarter and come back with their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to be coming from behind early on, but you're exactly right. They took some time, able to move the ball, and now it's back to a 10-3 game.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Carl Nassib able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now here's Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. On second and very short, Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Right side caught by Jackson. And he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Chiefs.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They go with Jacobs. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
A run with Jacobs there on first down, but he'll manage only a yard or 2 at best. 2nd down coming up.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr. Eluding the pressure right.
That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it but couldn't pull it in.
that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Carr. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Mahomes' throw pulled in by Robinson here. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here, we do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
2nd and 8 coming up. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Trucks over him. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me with enough touches, he could easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson.
And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down. And the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
To throw his Carr. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 33.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chris Jones, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot. As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, they will run McKinnon. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Divine Diablo there to make the stop. 2nd and 9.
Throwing now is Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Butker's kick here is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory.
53 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
It's a jet sweep as they get this to Jackson. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. The 20. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man. Respect the defensive.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left.
And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the 1st.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. Able to find Waller, that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake. Carr. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Chris Jones make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Carr. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And that will be incomplete. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it, and it's complete. They're going to get the first. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. A big play there on the fake field goal.
You know, I always talk about when teams line up for long field goals that you should be in a safe defense.
Right.
But you're also in a position here where this is a makeable kick. So rushing it is also part of this strategy. Maybe they use their aggressiveness against them on that fake.
Yeah, with a low trajectory, they're coming in hot, trying to block it. You're right, and obviously it worked out. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
One more time with Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try and grab that lead back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a do-it-all back, and he did plenty on that run. And as a rookie, 803 yards rushing for the season, and Kansas City may look to up his workload a little bit in year 2. The last pick of the first round in 2020, he more than justified that selection with his ability to run the football and catch it out of the backfield.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a give. This is McKinnon. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 44, Mahomes. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down now, run with McKinnon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From midfield, here's Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Forced out to his left. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there for the Raiders.
And for Derek Carr on that last completion, he just went over 30,000 career passing yards. A guy that came into the league in 2014 and not the first guy that leaps into your mind when you think of quarterbacks that have piled up big passing numbers, but Carr has been consistent, and congratulations to him on going over 30K. Second down, Jacobs once more. 64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there. It gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Mahomes will throw. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Pettis now on the return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Carr to throw.
A first down and more for Jacobs.
Able to connect with Jacobs.
Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One final try now for Carr. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still...